even more of a blind spot is that, you know, the way we were raised, we were raised in a little bubble of some illusion that you're westernized, right? Illusion that you're more westernized than others. And then when you're now living in the Western world and your wife behaves a certain way, it takes you aback a little bit. And now you realize how cultural you are too, or how traditional. You didn't realize you were as traditional, even though you told yourself in your brain that you could understand, you know, I'm not traditional.
Yep.
But that thing is inside, it's so in there, but it came out. It's an insecurity that came out, and then you start to ask, like, maybe
is this really me? Yeah.
It brings the worst of you out.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're in the middle of a crisis. The worst of you, your character will be tested in the middle of crisis. Not when everybody's in love. Not in 2006, 7, and 8. No, it's not. It is after real life kicks in and you're now trying to settle back into the very essence of you. That means all the insecurity will come out on both sides.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's a lot there. We coach. We don't call ourselves counselors. Here we coach precisely so that people can come. We coach individuals, right? Whoever is complaining, in the right. If you're complaining, you have the biggest leverage. But we'll point that out to you, right? Right. So of course you're complaining. That means you could do something about it, right? And we tend to go in that direction. We found that there's also a space in that world of marriage counseling and marriage self-help where we're still in love, but we just have communication problems, right?
Yeah.
And but we come from the angle of it's completely broken down, it's bad. Somebody is contemplating divorce, separation. When it's that terrible, you're complaining, but in the same breath you want your marriage back. That's where we come in, because the what we prescribe is generally not going to be accepted by people that are still kind of talking, right? It doesn't make sense. Like if I say a man who knows a woman does not argue with a woman, the westernized kids are like, what's wrong with the little debate with your wife? Right? But if you are in a space where you've seen the bad ending of years of toxic arguments, it's easy for you you have the context to understand, like, the ending of that is,
you can see the outcome.
The outcome, you see the outcome, you see that it's not good, so it's easier for you to receive it. But things are so bad now, so we tend to focus more on seduction skills. When I say seduction, people think I'm talking sex, but oh well. But we're talking about
getting ready to make your partner more accessible.
Yes, you're trying to communicate. How do you get them to receive what, the angle that most people go when it comes to marriage is like, communication is key. It's like,
yeah, the headline is it's not news to anyone. It's how you practically make it.
Tell me something new, please.
Tell me something new.
You actually just love each other. Tell me something new. They have, like, that. It's deeper than that. Like, we're talking about Ephesians 6:12 now. The forces you're fighting are not this flesh and blood. It's not reasoning. The problem is not reasoning. It's not the fact. Stop pulling out the fact. You're building more resentment the more you pull out the facts. What do you mean by resentment? I don't know. Maybe her mother from her village told her something, and when you say this means this to her, and to you it means complete. If you don't engage active listening, just like you do if you're marketing, just like you do in business anyway, there's going to be forces beyond lagging indicators, the facts. Those are lagging indicators. Some things happen before those were written down on the paper somewhere. Right? Yeah. And humans are ever evolving. Why is it that we now spend $4.28 trillion online worldwide, and it was smaller? So if you use the data from 2010, you're a loser. Stop using old data out of context. You can use old data, of course. That's how we educate ourselves.
Reference, but not for.
But in application, it's going to be different, right? There's masculinity. There is femininity. There is the forces of that person's culture and faith that comes in. If you're going to introduce them, I agree with you earlier, by the way. If you're going to introduce them to some kind of humility measure or some kind of things, right? You have to come correct, because now even us in the middle of counseling or coaching, we're being tested too, because they have to receive what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's because you're dealing with people, and people are so unpredictable because of their uniqueness, the way they were framed, the way God made them.
Yeah,
you also have to be humble enough to know that this individual is not a robot, and you then have to find ways of what's the word you use, seducting, right?
Yeah, you have to seduce them.
Seduce them with the facts and the help that you're trying to deliver with them, because their success is your success at the end of the day.
Yes. So I read a book a long time ago, The Heart of Seduction. I didn't know how much it would be applicable to real life until later on. Every form of seduction is going to come with some humility of, my ideas are my ideas, but I need to listen to where this person is coming from. I need to know where they're coming from, so I can. By the way, my ideas could be faulty. By the way, but maybe it's good. But they're not going to receive it until I understand where they're coming from. And in every layer, the only thing that makes marriage different from relationship is sex. And we live together, we have children together, we're kind of like invested in each other at a deeper level, obviously because of the institution of marriage. People try to blame the institution of marriage for their issues. Some people, right now, a bunch of conversation going on, people are trying to say, maybe arranged marriage was better. I was like, dude, if you are trash yourself, you take yourself into arranged marriage, you have a trash marriage. That's what will happen. It's the same thing. Like that's why when you're listening to people, it's funny. The story you have in the book, the story about you coming back from GCE, right? When we took that picture, right? When we took this picture, let me show the picture again. This picture, that was when we took this picture, right? Oh yeah, that is Asaolu right in the middle. He has the same face. I don't know why he's going back to the same hairstyle, but oh well. He has his reasons. And that's
5 from the left.
Yeah, that's 5 from the left, and that's me on the second row, second from the left. Yeah. So yeah, those days, man. Yeah. So it's funny you were telling that story of how the prefect did not agree to bend a certain type of rule, but then you brought it up later on after they had completely forgotten about that, right?